What is happening, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night on the grind. We got a really good show tonight, man. Really good show tonight. Um, we tagged up everybody in the industry we could possibly think of tagging to get people watching this show because tonight's a really kick ass show. But let me go on and start out tonight and go on and get my advertisers and sponsors of the show, get them their little bit of advertising going on. First up, we've got our good friends over at Hopkins Design. Um, Hopkins-design.com. Print, web, logo, photos, videos, drone footage, everything you could possibly want in one place. Earl Hopkins has been a friend of mine for 35 plus years, easily, actually 40 years. He is very talented, very good at what he does. If you need a website, you need branding, you need logos, you need photos, you need videos, you need anything you could possibly need, Earl at hopkins-design.com is your go-to guy. Go get with him and let him know you heard about him from Kevin on the Grind. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine. Urban Rides Magazine, established in 2019, is one of the premier, if not the most premier, badass magazine in the industry. And its counterpart, Street Bagger Magazine, both awesome magazines. Everything you could possibly want when it comes to a magazine. They have digital subscriptions and hard copies. So go to urbanridesmagazine.com, get you a subscription, get them to mail it out to you, or you can get the digital copies. Either way, you're going to win. Go check them out. urbanridesmagazine.com, Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook, and let them know Kevin sent you with the grind. Next up, our good friends over at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. J&D Custom Polishing Plating, point blank, the end, is the best in chrome plating, polishing, whatever you could possibly need for a motorcycle to make it look better. J&D Custom Polishing and Plating is where you want to go to get all of your chrome plating and polishing. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana, Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Another great magazine up there in that Chicago, Illinois, Indiana area. Stop by a lot of your shops, a lot of your bars, a lot of places you can get your magazines. Look for the grind inside there. They've got so much content. It's just unbelievable. You got to go check them out at Indiana and Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Next up, American Drag Seats, americandragseats.com. If you need a custom motorcycle seat, we got you covered. You need one covered. You need, send us a pan. We can foam up the pans. We can do everything beginning to end. If you have a Harley Davidson, doesn't matter which one, we make and manufacture seats for all of your Harley Davidsons. Custom low profile seats, airbags, stitching, embroidery, anything you could possibly want for the motorcycle seat world, we got you covered. AmericanDragSeats.com, American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc. on Facebook, American Drag Seats on Instagram and TikTok. Anyway, go check us out. Let me know what you need. I got you covered. Next up, our good friends over at Jade Affiliated. You need custom wheels? I do not care where you go. You got to go to jadeaffiliated.com. Check out their wheels, man. The Walter White is my personal favorite badass wheels. They've got you covered on everything you need. Go check them out at jadeaffiliated.com or jadeaffiliated on Facebook. And whatever you do, let them know you heard about it through the grind. Next up, Legacy Bike Works. Legacy Bike Works right here in Manville, Texas. Custom bike builds, audio, custom choppers, bobbers, baggers, doesn't matter. Legacy Bike Works, one-stop shop, customizing, audio, custom builds, we do it all. Legacy Bike Works on Facebook, Legacy Bike Works on Instagram. Check us out, give us a holler. We're right here in Manville, Texas. Next up, our good friends over at Shy South Customs. This guy's been in business 8 years. Hot rods, bikes, cars, trucks, custom paint, custom fabrication. You need it done, they do it, man. They've got a bad to the bone 72 Chevy C10 pickup they are completely building right now in the shop. Be looking for that in the near future. Also, go check them out at Cyclerama here in March. They're going to be there. I'm going to be there. We're all going to be there to have a good time. But you need something in that Chicago area. Well, actually, you're anywhere. They'll take bikes from out of state also. Go check them out at Shy South Customs. All the information is right on the screen. Whatever you do, let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. Next up, last but not least, is Hellspeed Shop, hellspeedshop.com. I am wearing the Midnight Kiss right now. These flannels are the bomb. In the summertime, you can wear them. You're not going to sweat your ass off. They breathe so well. In the wintertime, hold the heat in. Man, the best by far flannel shirts you're ever going to get. Go check them out at hellspeedshop.com. Order you some swag. Let them know Kevin with the Grind sent you. So tonight's show is going to be a little bit different. It said the Flannel Mafia is in the house. Hell yeah, Flannel Mafia is in the house. Tonight's show is really cool because typically we're dealing with painters, seat guys, builders, things of that nature, industry personalities. But tonight we actually get to talk to a manufacturer of parts that I guarantee 99% of the builders, painters, fabricators out there, you need these products. But we're going to get to talk to the man himself tonight. And just to give you guys a little heads up on what I'm talking about is, check this out, Lift King. It's specialty automotive collision and restoration paint and body equipment. When I say equipment, I mean this stuff holds your parts while you're fabricating on them, while you're painting them, while you're body working them, while you're doing everything. And all of these whole kits actually fold up and don't take up a lot of space. You pull them out when you need them. You put them up when you don't. I don't know a lot about Lift King yet because I'm not a painter, but I can tell you right now, I am going to get me some of this stuff because as a builder, I'm tired of putting stuff on sawhorses and trash cans and all kinds of stuff to secure these parts. So I can tell you guys right now, Lift King is somebody I'm going to go use, and I'm not a painter. I'm just a builder, but I know these products work and they can work very, very well. But tonight, I would like to get you guys on here and let you all meet the man himself, LJ Tetreau, if I'm saying it correctly. Give me 2 seconds. He's coming in. Let me go on and get my shout outs out of the way and let everybody know I appreciate it. I appreciate your watching. What's up, Pat Price, Marsha Fitzpatrick, Mr. Russell Parks, Uncle Bruno's in the house, Dan Smooth, Juban. Miss Janice is in the house tonight. She said bright and bold. I know these flannels are the shit. I love them. What's up, Mr. Earl? Vertical Customs up in the house. Marsh Fitzpatrick, Justin Baldwin. Let me see. Miss Nancy Weems is in the house. I appreciate you as always watching over there from YouTube. Jimmy V. Messina, what's going on? My buddy Brian Barber's watching. Hell yeah, he just got finished watching our good friend Keith Barker on his 2-hour or hour and a half special. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I didn't get to watch all of it. I got the very tail end of it, but I got to get back there and watch it. Lori Boisel, how you doing, Lori? Good to see you in the house again. 42wheels.com. You guys gotta go check that out. Well, I appreciate that, sir. Thank you. Dino Holstein's in the house. Mr. Daniel Perez is in the house. Appreciate all you guys watching, man. We're waiting patiently for LJ to get back on. He was here, but he might be having a little bit of a technical difficulty. You guys know that stuff happens, but he will be in the house just here shortly. But anyway, so let's talk. So a lot of people, Paul Fitzpatrick's in the house. What's going on? Have heard me talk here lately, and especially Dan from Shy South have been talking about these Lift King products. And these Lift King products, man, are a good price. What's up, Mr. Dr. Bob Bentley's in the house? They're good parts, but a lot of people have shown a lot of concern of, well, where are you going to put these things? Where are they going to be sitting? When you're not using them, they take up a lot of real estate. But the truth of the matter is, they take up the real estate when you need to use them. But they all fold up and they all work out really well when you don't have to use them. I can see and hear you. So LJ's in the house, but he's not here. All right, hold on 2 seconds. I'm. Let's do this real quick right here. Create a new link. Okay. All right. Copy that link. Copied. All right. Hold on, my people. Hold on. It's coming. We're trying to get LJ in here real quick, like. Right here. Right there. Right there. Let's go. All right. So I just sent him another link. We're going to try to get him in here really quick, like. There you go. So I'm back now. Give LJ just a second. He'll be in here in just a second. I sent him a new link to the show. Maybe the other link was bad. I don't know. So for all you people, man, I went to church tonight, and I've been going to church a whole lot here lately. But I heard something in church that was just made a lot of sense to me, and it's Proverbs 14:4 for those that go to church. Those that don't want to go, I'm not forcing you to, but I'm just saying go check out Proverbs 14:4. It said, "A clean stable brings no profit." I figured that hit home to me because I've got friends that have been to my shop and they know it is not the cleanest shop out there, but it's a working shop. Where'd it go? What's going on? What's going on? Waiting to go live says, I am waiting to be presented. All right. I hear him. He's got to be here. There he is. All right, everybody. So LJ's in the house. Let's move forward with this interview. Everybody, please welcome into the show, Mr. LJ Tetreau. What's happening, man?
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
Good. We got it working, and then of course the gremlins come up at the very last second. So it happens. It happens. So
I figured maybe you changed your mind last minute or something, you know?
No. Everybody would kick my ass if I did that because they get to hear me all the time.
Right?
The interviews are the coolest part about this show because everybody gets to meet new people. It introduces new people into the industry or into the velvet rope, if you will. So, but what's really cool about you is you're the first actual manufacturer that I've ever dealt with. I've dealt with other people that actually make parts and do stuff, but they don't manufacture for an industry. And your industry is not motorcycles, it's cars, trucks, big trucks, and you're getting into the motorcycle side of it, which is freaking awesome to me. So do me a favor, introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are. Uncle Bruno, if you got any links or anything, just shout them out. Uncle Bruno will hook you up and he'll put all that in the comments.
Super awesome. Well, my name's LJ. I'm the owner of Lift King. And, when we started this, we originally started in the auto side. And so, we started out in the auto side because I was born and raised in the auto collision industry. I used to be a painter myself. Now, let me, make it clear. I was no badass like some people maybe on here. I was not a custom painter or nothing like that. I was more of a automotive collision shop production guy. But I understand the painting industry and I understand the struggles that painters have. So, my original roots, I left the painting industry and the collision industry, and I went on to other things. But I always drifted back, whether it be a hobby or now it's my main thing. But so the painting and collision and customizing, I've always had a big passion for that. And like I said, started in the autos, it went into the big trucks. This year here, the 2024 is kind of like our introduction for the motorcycle side. We had motorcycle products out there in 2023, but we were still tweaking them and fine tuning things and adding to it. This is kind of our breakout year for that side.
Right on. So how did you get into the motorcycle side of your products? And I'm going to show some of your products here shortly. but did you go to Harley dealerships? Did you search people out? Did you, I mean, how'd you get to me? That's one of the main things I'd like to know. How did you get
Well,
all the way to me?
well, it's kind of interesting. So, I was always a fan of the TV show Counting Cars. And, I used to love to watch them guys on TV for years. And as we started developing product in the auto, painting industry, we connected with them somewhere along the line. I can't even remember exactly how we connected with them, but we connected with them somewhere along the line. And I started dealing with Ryan Evans. He's an amazing painter. Then I got to know Horny Mike. He's just insanely talented with airbrushing and whatever. And so we started working some trade shows with them and working with them, and they were checking out our product. They started, we built a great relationship with them, and over some time, they decided they wanted some product at their shop. So when I went out to Las Vegas to Counts Customs and I brought them product, as I'm walking around in their shop, I'm looking around and I'm seeing motorcycle panels that they've got wires and homemade, things that are holding them in position, in their paint booth. I mean, even like wooden stands with maybe even an old beer crate underneath of it with a, tour pack or a tank propped up on it or whatever. And then I started asking them, I'm like, what's going on? I'm surprised that you don't have something better than this. And that's when they pointed out, they said, if you go and check, you look all over, do all the research, there's really not many options out there. There's nothing out there for us. And so I sat back and I thought, if you're painting a semi, a semi truck's a $150,000, $200,000 truck, gets into a wreck and you got to paint it. A customer will walk in after a job's done on a semi, they'll inspect it, and everybody wants perfection, but a truck driver wants the truck back in the road quick so they can start putting revenue on the trailer. And that's, like their main number one thing. A few flaws they're probably not even going to pick out. Now, if it's your personal vehicle, everybody wants it perfect. They're inspecting it with a fine-tooth comb. But when you think about a motorcycle, I mean, that's a lot of people, that's their hobby, that's their passion. You work all week, you want to ride your bike on the weekend. I mean, you want your bike perfect. And if you're going to go to a shop and you're going to spend 10, 15, 20, 30 grand doing a custom job on a motorcycle, and to think about, shops got things on wood and cardboard and different things like that with maybe silicone jammed in it. And, painters are in the shop trying to lay this job that they know is going to be inspected more in depth than any other job out there. And these guys are very talented people, fighting with, very limited support when it comes to any kind of paint stand.
Yeah.
So me being a former painter, being a guy who's rode motorcycles my whole life, very interested in, that line of work. I thought, geez, there's got to be something. I spent, a bunch of time doing the research. I was running into dead end after dead end. And I thought, we've got to do something here. So at that point, Kevin, I created some prototype equipment. I would send it out to people like Counts Customs, have them use it. A guy like Ryan would contact me and tell me what changes he thought I should make. When we originally sent it out, there wasn't enough distance, like on the saddlebag attachment. So There might be a little overlap with your clear or something. So he would point out different little things, and we tweaked it to the point where, a guy like Ryan would be, he'd tell me, this is exactly what we need. We'd throw it into some other shops. They would use it. They would like it. Feedback's key. The guys out there doing the job on a regular basis, that's how we learn how to do our job the right way. So that's really where it came from.
Yeah. So your R&D is actually your customers. Your customers are actually using them. They're getting to, maneuver all these things. So they're getting to tell you, hey, well, this part's really, really good, but this part sucks.
Exactly.
So do you just completely rebuild, or do you go back and get that equipment, bring it back to the shop, do more R&D, add, subtract, and then send it back to them? How's that work?
Well, a lot of times I just leave, their item with them, and usually there's a portion of it, 9 times out of 10, there's a portion of it that I can create a new piece, send them that piece, they can switch it out, give me more feedback. But a lot of times, if we can get a handful of shops using the product, the key is if you hear the same thing being told to you time after time from multiple different shops, typically there's something with that. Everybody has a theory, and you can't always accommodate every single theory out there.
Right.
But if you can figure out how to be as multi-purpose and universal as possible, and you can satisfy the majority of the people and listen to what they're telling you, more often than not, it's going to drive you into a successful product when it's all said and done.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. So, that's how we do a lot of our R&D.
Well, so a couple of weeks, maybe about a month or so ago, you and I got to talk,
mm-hmm.
and I actually debated with you a little bit about this, and it's because I've been around custom painters for almost 30 years. And I've been around custom motorcycle painters for at least the last 20. And I've seen these guys build wooden sawhorses and use trash cans, and people build what they need when they need it. But I mean, I was very privy. There was a guy that used to paint down here in Galveston that I used to use a long time ago. And I literally was standing in his shop one day, and we were just in the paint booth, and he was kind of giving me a little tour of what we were doing and stuff. And it was actually a contact that my father hooked me up with when I first started doing motorcycle seats. And because he knew my dad, my dad figured that, maybe this guy could help me get some seat work. But I went into his shop and I was watching him paint and all the stuff. And he was literally painting, and he's got the hose behind him, and he whips the hose, and he knocked a fender, literally a fender, knocked it right off, hit the ground. The dude lost his crap. I mean, he got pissed. And I didn't know what was going on. I just figured, something happened. He hangs it up. He comes outside, and he's just cussing up a storm. He's pissed. And I was like, well, what happened? What's the deal? He's like, and you're talking over 20 years ago. Well, actually 19 years ago. He said, man, this is bullshit because I make these specifically for the parts I'm painting, but yet I bumped the damn thing. It fell off. Now I have to do more body work because it dented when it hit the ground. And it's just costing me so much money. Now I'm going to lose money on that portion of this job simply because there's nothing secure. I mean, exactly. I can build it and set it on there and pray it's secure. And I've been in so many paint and body shops, and literally it's like everybody makes wooden sawhorses and parts, and they make them to fit, and it works out great. But I can actually see a need for your product, but not just for painting bikes. I can see it, especially for these guys that are doing these stereo modifications on the bags and all these other things. I can see where your product would be good for sanding and for laying fiberglass and just doing all kinds of other stuff. But another thing is, don't your products telescope like up and down? So you could get a roll-up chair and get a nice bench, get everything set up. So when you're airbrushing, you're real comfortable while you're airbrushing a part or taping or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no doubt. See, and where we struggle though, Kevin, is a lot of the paint stands, I don't care if it's automotive, motorcycle, whatever, most of the paint stands are created overseas. And it's all about price point. So I can't compete with Chinese pricing. But there's a big, huge difference. So, back to what you were originally asking. When we create a product, because I worked in a shop, and dealt with the floor space and et cetera, we always build stuff to store in the minimal amount of space as possible. So if you've got something that you're using and you can pull one or two pins and it'll collapse and hang on a wall mount, you don't need floor space. I mean, that's a pretty big thing, right? Then if everything you have, you could adjust it for height, width, any kind of placement, that's key. We always use a better caster than probably most people, because if you have that part on on your stand and you want to roll it into your paint booth, you want to go over paint booth grates, or you want to move it around. Yeah, you can buy some really cheap junk casters. Your product still is a stand that will hold the part. But the minute you go to move it around, now you're dealing, with a scenario like what you just referred to, where something's falling off, or you bump into a little something on the floor and it stops the item, and you got an issue. So we always put an upgraded caster. We make sure that the casters have brakes. Everything's telescopic. It's adjustable. It folds and stores easy. We try to make everything very universal, so that, like, you may go to a competitor, or especially in the automotive side, there's not a lot of competitors on the motorcycle side, but the automotive side, you might buy a stand for half the price of ours. And we're not overpriced, but our stuff's built in the US and it's built to last. So you go buy a stand for half the price, but if you need 4 of them stands to do what our one stand will do, and our one stand has 3, 4, 5 times the life expectancy of these other stands, really, you're saving money with our stand, because you're not going to replace it. You're not going to continue to upgrade it. Anytime we build something, everybody likes to be the person that has all the answers or the best design. I'm not ashamed to say I go out and buy competitive product, and I dig into it and I look at it and I figure out, what they've done compared to what I'm doing. And I come up with theories. Well, when I buy a competitive product, a lot of times, especially in the paint stand, you start over tightening a bolt, putting it together, and you watch the side of the steel suck right in. Our product, you could practically run it over with your car and not bent it in,
Right. So Brian just asked, can they see some of it? So I went to your website. I pulled a page off. Now you've added to this list right here, but we'll show this right here. And this is on their website. So the top left picture looks like it's holding a set of saddlebags, and the one beneath it's holding a fender. But correct me if I'm not wrong, a lot of these parts are interchangeable to fit what you need, right?
So the main base, where you see the casters and the telescopic bar going upward, they're all the same. Right. It's just the top end head of it. You're going to switch it from a fender attachment to saddlebags or a tour pack, whatever part that you're working on.
So your package here says it's $39.95, and that comes with everything that's on that screen, which is 6 different parts. The comments are rolling over it. Sorry. So it's 6 different towers right here, but you have interchangeable parts. Plus you have more parts that are added to this.
Yeah. So this picture will be updated here real soon. We have a side cover attachment. So for your side covers, we have a helmet attachment. So if you're a custom person going to match your helmet to your motorcycle, we've got that. So it's the side cover, the helmet, and there's one other item. So we've added 3 different things to this lineup right here, and there'll be updated information on our site here in the next probably 2 weeks.
So you can go on your site and you can buy one product, or you can go on there and you can buy a kit, and you have Correct. A full kit for motorcycles.
Yes.
That includes your gas tanks, your fenders, your side covers, your fairing, your saddlebags, tour pack, rear fender. Now you're saying a helmet also.
Yes.
So if you're going to do a bagger and a helmet, you actually have all the parts to put all of the parts for the bike in the shop at one time. Plus, I wish I would have gotten that picture. You have an actual frame attachment, so you can paint an entire frame, and it's all through the neck of the frame, right?
Yeah, it's a cool deal. So I don't know, so a friend of mine is Shorty from Shorty's Dream Shop, the TV show Shorty's Dream Shop. Well, I was at his shop one day, and he said he was showing me a homemade item that he created. It was out of angle iron. It was a pretty rough. It was all scrap metal, but his whole thing was, but it worked well. And he took me out back and he was showing it to me, and he said, "Look," he goes, "whenever I'm painting frames of motorcycles," he goes, "it was always a problem. I'm trying to hang them from wires, and I get shadows and things are swaying around in the booth." So he built this thing and he said, look, I think this is something the industry could use. And I looked it over. He let me take a bunch of pictures. I conversed with him, and then we built this item. But it unfolds, and you set the frame, the neck of the frame, right over top of this jig. And what it does is the jig is built so that the frame sets down in there, and it never goes above the top of the neck. And so whenever you go to paint the top of the tank or the top of the frame, there's no obstacle. The same with the bottom of the neck, there's no obstacle. And you can lower it, you can raise it, you can tilt it, you can angle it. So if you want to spray underneath the frame, above the frame, all the way around the frame, it's really a pretty easy job. That frame stand is on casters as well. So you can move it in your booth. If you give it a coat of paint, you want to put it to the side, you can. And back to our attachments. So what you were saying earlier with all these different attachments with the kit, yeah, that's correct. We've also got a really nice attachment rack so that each one of the attachments has a position, because a lot of shops, you go out and you have 6 or 8 different attachments to different stands. When you're not using them, where are they? They're laying all over the shop.
Right.
And then you lose them. So we got a nice storage rack where you can put all your attachments on there. Everything's got a designated position. That's on casters as well. And every one of them attachments fit on the identical main frame or the main stand. So that's fully universal. And like I said, you go to paint the frame, you got the frame paint stand. So we're covering everything when it comes to a motorcycle at that point for painting.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm actually going back and forth right now because I found the frame jig and I want to show everybody this frame jig because it's really cool looking. So I'm gonna set this up and I'm gonna send it over and I'm gonna add it real quick into the thing so everybody can actually see it because it's really cool looking. And I just wouldn't have known about it until you actually said that and sent that. But there's that one product can do so much more than for just painting.
Absolutely.
But give me 2 seconds, everybody. I'm fixing to download this and show you guys what I'm actually talking about. Oh shit, I don't want to do that. That's the wrong button. Okay, I don't care about that. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I'm sorry. I've got to show everybody this one product real quick.
No problem.
So here's the product we were just discussing. That's the frame jig.
Yes. Yeah. So them legs there, Kevin, you pull a pin out of each leg, they fold up, and then that top drops down. So it takes very minimal space when you're not using it. But like with that frame on there right now, if you want to tilt the back of the frame up, down, you want to lower the whole unit, raise the whole unit, and if you want to push it around, I mean, it's real stable. It's not going to fall off or anything like that.
Right there at the next stem of your product, does it rotate so you can rotate the frame?
You cannot. It's not a rotisserie, but you can turn it from side to side, but it's not a rotisserie. Now, like Dan Smooth with Shy South, he's got that unit at his shop.
Yeah, well, I have a whole bunch of pictures from Dan, but I'm hesitant to show them because it just looks like a bunch of parts. You can't really see the parts, your parts, because he's used them so much. They actually are the color of the shop, so they blend in too well. Which, if you guys need a testimony, Dan Juban is the man. He's been using these parts for how long now, LJ?
I don't know. It's maybe 8-9 months, something like that. A little under a year.
So Dan is the man. He knows about these products and how well they work.
Yeah, that's how we figure out how to, like I said, that's how we figure out how to make them better is guys like Dan that's out there using them on a regular basis. And they're supposed to look the way Dan's got them looking. That means that they're well used.
Right, right, right. So the cool thing that I like about your product is that it'll hold the parts
No
and they
doubt.
won't fall off. You can
No,
bump them, you can roll them, you can go over grading with them, you can do all these things, but you don't ever drop the part.
not unless you're reckless. I mean,
Well,
you'd
yeah,
have
but
you'd have to really be reckless.
you would be having to try.
Right.
Okay, you'd have to try to make an effort to knock them down. If you're in the booth and you bump the stand, it's
No,
not you're not in fear of it falling over.
not at all.
So there's only two things that people are very concerned with right now that I've been telling everybody about you guys for the last 2 weeks. Once I became privy to what we've got going on. So Dan said he sent me two pictures. Let me look at these two pictures from Dan real quick. Just in case he's got something going on that I want to see. Did he text them to me? It's very unusual for him to text me pictures. Yeah, he texted them to me. Yeah, so Dan and them, okay. So shit. Dan, send them to me on Messenger, please. So he sent me two good pictures. Send them to me on Messenger, bub. So but anyway, back to my initial thought. So ever since I became privy to you, started talking about the products, things like that, I did some research and I went and I looked and I've been talking to a lot of people. So one of my good friends, Brian Barber, is probably one of the best painters I've ever met. And he was telling me, he's like, it takes up too much room. It just takes up too much room. And, oh, they want to know, do the casters lock?
Yes, everything we have brake casters.
Yeah. Okay. So Jeremy Goheen, yes, they have brake casters or brakes on the casters. Kevin Baird, shut up. You are one of the best friends anybody could have. Anyway, so I was talking to Brian about it, and Brian says, dude, you've seen my shop. You've seen what I work with. You've seen everything I got going on. They're not going to fit in my shop unless I'm using them. And I was trying to be like, dude, no, these things, they collapse and you can hang them on the walls and stuff. And if you can sell to Brian, you probably can sell to anybody. But what gets me about the products is just like any tool out there you get. If you invest in the right tools, they're going to last you for a long time.
No doubt.
Okay. All your parts are made in America, and you do R&D, and you have the best welders, and you have the best everything to make the parts last, because you don't want someone coming back to replace a part because it didn't last. You want them coming by to buy new attachments.
No, there's no doubt. If we can't build something with high quality standards, we just won't build it. You know, everything that we build is in the U.S. Nothing, nothing. We don't farm anything out overseas whatsoever. It's all U.S. workers, in the state of Michigan. They're out there sweating, working, welding, designing, and that's how it's done. It's all here in the U.S.
Right on. Hold on, Dan sent me these pictures. I want to download them real quick. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to actually put these three pictures up, not all at one time, but I'm going to put these pictures up because I want people to see these pictures too, because these are good pictures of the products. Oh, there we go. I keep saying there's going to be three. I got to make sure I got that third one. There it is right there. Okay, so Dan sent me these pictures, and I want to show them to you real quick. So this is the frame jig right here.
Yes.
And you can see in the picture Dan sent, one of the legs is folded up. The other leg is still sticking out. But
Correct.
once you fold it up, it still has 4 points where it's attaching. So when the legs are down, it's got 6 points of contact to the ground.
Correct.
But then, it folds up, goes against the wall. It's not taking up much space at all. Okay. Let's hide that one. And this, I can't tell if this is the entire kit pushed
Now,
into one corner.
well, here's the thing. So I owe Dan a new, that was the original with all the attachments, but we actually have a much better one that we just rolled out here a few weeks ago. This one, I mean, it works. It looks a bit like a mess in this picture, but the issue that we had was in some cases you have to remove an attachment to get to an attachment.
Right.
And we did that just because in this picture, you've got a couple main stands in all the attachments,
Right.
all in a confined area. So we had to lengthen it, shorten it, just a few modifications. And now you don't have to remove anything to get to anything, and you can still accommodate everything there. So it really don't take as much space as you would think.
Right. Well, and that's the other thing, and it is another picture, and that's everything. They're standing there with everything together.
Yes,
Nothing's folded up, nothing's put away. That's the real estate that they're taking right there.
that is correct. Every attachment and the frame stand, all of it.
Okay. So now I'm going to put you on the chopping block for a second.
Okay.
And I say this out of all respect, but just curious. So when you choose to work with a shop, whether you sponsor them, they endorse your product, however that plays out, do you tell the shop, hey, abuse it, treat it like crap? I want to see what their longevity is when you don't use them the proper way. Second thing, do you give the shops any free reign? Hey, if you see an adjustment on any one of these parts that we could make to make it better, to fold up tighter, to store away better, do you give shops the ability or the right of way to do that so that you get real time, real use R&D?
Absolutely. I mean, that's key. That's exactly what we do. I mean, anytime we take anything into a shop, we always want their feedback. I mean, that's like, we're hoping to get the call and hear what they got to say. Obviously, we're hoping they say, hey, we love it. There's not much you can do better, but that's not always the case. And there's times where they're working on scenarios that we don't even think of because we're not in that situation. So when they're in the shop and they're, in the middle of a big project, there's things they're going to use our products for that it's just, maybe it's not 100% common, it's, so at that point, we need their feedback in order to make our stuff work well. And we do, as far as your original question, do we tell them to abuse it? Do we tell them, we just take it into the shop and say, use this thing, any scenario you can, let us know of, any opinion. If there's anything that you think that we're missing, we want to know that. And I always ask and encourage all shops, if there's even any other idea that they have that maybe we're not thinking of that's going to cover something different that shop needs. I mean, we're here to support shops that are trying to put on, do nice paint jobs, nice repair works, custom builds. We're here to support that. So if there's something out there that shop needs or the industry needs, absolutely, we want to know about it.
Well, I just know that I've and people give me shit, and I don't care if they do. We're a relatively new builder, but I am a very, very seasoned fabricator. Mm-hmm. I've been fabricating with metal for over 30 years of my life. When you start making things and doing things, it's, necessity is the mother of invention.
No doubt.
So I know for a fact that there are a couple of shops out there that pride themselves in the amount of creative body work and fiberglass work they can do. Like they take a lot of pride in how creative they can get with it.
Mm-hmm.
My son, up and coming builder, We don't claim to be the best, but I know he's got a lot of creativity. So I want to work with you on building stands so that when these guys put these big elongated saddlebags, they have a way to mount them so they can do the chopping, the sawing, the installations, the fiberglass, the Bondo. They can work with these parts because you're always setting them on something, whether it's a table, the ground, whatever, to get it into a position where you're working with it. Now I have ideas in my head because I know what my son does. I know what I've done over the years. I know what my buddy Brian does. I know what Smooth does. I know what a lot of builders do. Even, I mean, from a hobbyist to your seasoned vet bike builder, they all face the same challenges. I just wish, that's the whole thing. Man, I just wish. But the other aspect of it is man, cost, and I say this very hesitantly because it almost sounds like I'm putting some people down. When people go to spend money, not everybody thinks long term. They think, hey, I need it right now. I'm the kind of guy that I'm not going to spend $100 on an angle grinder. I'm just not going to do it because I know what I do to the angle grinder. I'm going to go spend $19 at Harbor Freight because that $19 is going to last me 2 years. Well, I also know if I spend $100 on this angle grinder, it's only going to last me 2 years. It doesn't matter what that quality is on my angle grinder. But other things like my welding machines, like my metal fab tables, things that I know I don't ever want to spend money on this again. It's got to last me my lifetime. Man, you spend that money. You make sure you spend that money. Okay. So like with your products, some people are going to be like, well, what do you get for that price? Well, what is the price? And, do you do financing? Which I don't know why, but do you do financing?
We actually
do. You do?
Yes, sir.
Holy shit. Everybody go by right now. He does financing. No. So we're drawing down to the end of the show. So I'm going to put this back up there one time. And you said something to me, but I'm not taking anything from you. I'm going to let you discuss this one part. God dang it. I keep skipping it. There we go. Okay. So watch this just for the end of the show. Okay. There. Now it's between us. Tell us about this package.
Okay. So first off, like our gas, this is a terrible picture, and I apologize for that. We're going to have better pictures, but like our gas tank attachment, it actually is 3 attachments. So it'll cover a split tank, it'll cover your regular tank with the center tab, or it'll cover the tanks with the pins. So, we're covering 3 gas tanks with our gas tank gas tank attachment. When you order a fender attachment, it's for the front and rear fenders. Obviously, tour pack, it's for the lid and the tour pack. Our fairing attachment, it's got because obviously your inner fairing and your outer fairing, the curves are different. So, we're designing them to accommodate. If you want to spray the inner fairing, we can securely put that on. Our side plates, or just think about any of these items, Kevin. If you are a painter and you're going to lay a slick job down for a customer who's paying top dollar, and you have some rigged up stuff, a lot of times it's hard to hit the lips on like your up under your saddlebags or on your side plates. I mean, how are you holding a side cover? Typically you're wiring some stuff to it. When you're spraying the side cover, you probably have some paint hitting something and circling back or some clear, So when we build product, we try to build it so there's not really there's no backboard. So your oversprays aren't circling back and landed back on the wet paint or the wet clear. And we try to create it so that any under lip, you're going to be able to hit it. And, so when you walk out, your paint booth is defogged and you come back in, you're like, oh man, I should have put more base coat on that. So we're trying to help people avoid all them scenarios. And we're trying to do it in a system where if you're a tall painter, a short painter, medium height, you can make the adjustments. if you're working on a more of a bobber type bike compared to a big dresser, you know, you can spread things out further. You can make the adjustments. So, you know, we obviously need better photos than what we've got here. But like I said, this stuff is, you know, store easy, lock it in position with the braking casters, adjust height and width, cover all aspects of the product you're trying to paint without any obstacles in the background or missing any edges. And, you know, not allow product to fall off the stand on the floor after you slicked out a job.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's key. I mean, if as a customer, you definitely don't want your motorcycle. If you're going to have a flaw in something, you don't want it to be in your bike, in my opinion.
Right.
So we try to cover that.
So Paul Kerr is saying that the package contents in this description is different than that package contents that y'all have now.
Yes, them are the things that I told you we added to that package that's not listed here. It's not shown here.
Because it's so new, y'all added more stuff to it, to the package.
Correct.
So
we added things to the package except for the price.
Okay, so you added to the package at the same price.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's discuss that price. I'm trying so hard to get you to say what I want you to say.
Well, it's not going to be hard any longer. So we are, because, you know, this is a special introduction, and it's all about right now, it's all about just letting everybody know what we have available. Okay. So we're doing a special 30-day deal. And, you know, we work with Shy South Customs. They've got a discount code. So anybody long-term, it's not 30 days, it's indefinite. You know, if they were to reach out to liftkingproducts.com or contact one of our guys and they were to use the Shy South 10, you know, that's a discount code that's going to automatically get them 10% off. Well, we created a code for the grind. So now we've got the grind 10. We've never, ever doubled our, you know, discount codes. But today with the show and as a special introduction and my appreciation to everybody here watching, you know, we want to offer, we're going to double the discount. So anybody who would want to try out any of our MC products, any of our products, period, any Lift King products at all, they could get the Shy South 10 and the Grind 10, get 20% off the top, right out of the gate, no questions asked. Just use them discount codes and save 20.
So you guys have to understand this price here from $39.95 literally dropped almost $1,000.
Correct.
So this $39.95 package could get down to $29.95 in the next 30 days. If you type in the code for Shy South and the grind, he's going to allow you guys to use both codes at the same time for the next 30 days, which honestly, guys, it's not even 20%. It's more than that. It's actually, if you look at the math on the screen, it's almost 25% total you're going to be getting off of this package. Because it's $39.95, 10% of $39.95 is $399.50. I'm just saying 400, 800 bucks. So you're literally going to get it for almost 25% off. Go to the website, go look at everything they've got. But in the motorcycle industry, look at this. Because I know Dan and the guys, they're going to have to get the automotive side now because of the C10 they're building.
Absolutely. We're working on it for them as we speak.
And I know there's other people out there like my buddy Brian that will tell you all day long, I don't paint cars. But I know damn good and well he does paint cars because he has a truck in there. And I mean, I just know he does things like that. So all of these kits would be badass for Brian. Now, people, remember this. You're going to get to use 2 10% discounts at the same time for the next 30 days. After 30 days, you can use Shy South or you can use the grind and you're still going to get 10% off. Yep. So just by putting in Shy South or by putting in the grind, you're going to get an automatic 10% off, either or. For the discount code, could I get some ceiling hangers? Brian's being a butthole. Okay, so Brian Barber is, I'm going to put it up there. It's in there for him now.
We might be able to help him out.
You might be able to help him out. So Brian is one of those people. He's a fantastic freaking painter. He really, really is. But he's one of those guys. He is one of those guys that was like, dude, it's all about the price to me. And, you know, I don't have, he said, I don't have the floor space. I want to make sure.
I think you need to put
I
him
basically want to shut him up, is basically what I want to do. Just going to say it. I want to shut him up. I want to make sure that he gets at least one of these products so that he can see. Oh, okay. All right. I understand. It works. Because he's a good painter. He's been a painter for a long time. And he's just
we need to get some stuff into his possession. You know, we need to have him test a couple units out and tell us about that storage space.
We might need to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He said 3 square feet. 3 square feet, man. A yard. 1 yard.
Yeah, that's not much space. And
no, it's not. And you know, I'll be honest with you. I know I'm going to order some stuff from you because I'm never going to be a painter. I'm not going to do it. I know too many people that have paid their dues, learned the equations. They know how to paint. I would much rather give them that money than take on more. I'm a metal fabricator at heart. We're building bikes now. I know we're going to get stuff from you simply because I hope my son's not watching, because he does so much fabrication work on saddlebags.
Oh, yeah.
I want him to have that ability to be able to put them where they go, the way that they work, and use it. And the room that we have to do it is 10 feet wide, 20 foot deep, and it's got 2-foot shelves all the way around it, like like the letter U. Yep. So we're really only getting 6 to 8 feet wide by 16 foot deep to work in. And then we also have to be able to store the stuff too. So I'm down to get some stuff too from you. So
excellent. Look forward to it.
But so, dude, is there anything else you want everybody to know about these products? Anything that I'm forgetting?
No, I think you did a good job covering it, Kevin. And like I said, you know, it's all high quality product. Anything we sell, you know, if somebody were to call me and say, hey, look, you know, this isn't what we thought it was. It don't work like we thought, you know, like you said it did. The quality's not there. Yeah, I'll refund you and take it back. I mean, we're not here to jam a bunch of bad product down no one. This is you know, really good stuff, and we just want to get it introduced to the industry, and we want you know, to get it out there in the market. So we plan to go to some bike shows this year, some different events. You know, work with some different groups like Shy South. You know, have them tell us what's going on out there with this product, and you know, get the stuff out there and see what 2024 will do for us.
Well, see, that's another thing I was just sitting there thinking, man, that these would also be great to display parts for painters. Like when you go to SEMA, when you go to the different bike shows and things like that, it would be good to display the saddlebags that have the big banging speakers and stuff in them to show people, hey, you can walk all the way around this thing and see this is how the manufacturers of the saddlebags and the painters and the bike builders, audio guys, there's a huge group here just for a display.
Yes.
You know, that's badass to me. So, I mean, maybe you could make, literally between you and me, I'm going to say it right here in front of everybody, make a holder that would hold 2 saddlebags and a tour pack so that people could see the saddlebags that everybody's putting out and the tour packs that everybody's running, and they could physically walk around and see it, and it's just a display holder.
Not a bad idea.
I think a lot of your stereo guys that you know, like Insane Asylum, Silent Cycles, John Shope, Dirty Bird, Cody McNew from Voodoo. I mean, there's just so many shops that do these types of things, that manufacture these parts. They would be really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So,
no, I agree. Hey, before I forget too, Kevin,
Yeah.
I want to thank Marcia Thunder Roads. You've been a great supporter. I really appreciate it. Want you to know I recognize it. Means a lot. Uncle Bruno, I haven't got to really know you yet, but you've been liking our stuff, really supportive. Greatly appreciate it. And, it can't get much better than Smooth, man, from Shy South. He's been phenomenal. Can't wait to get some of that them auto items out to him here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. So I appreciate you taking an interest in the grind. It's great that Dan hooked us up together and got us talking, because you have a really good product in it. I'm not a painter, but I can see the need. But I can see the need for all the trade shows, all the motorcycle rallies. I can see the need for this in a lot of areas. I don't know. I'm going to start reaching out to a lot of other people that I know, because I just see a need for the product on a couple different formats. We were talking about Uncle Bruno earlier. Bruno Coppola is the Godfather. He's the man behind the show that makes everything so freaking awesome. But anyway, I want to say thank you. Anytime you want to come on, you want to do a product review for yourself, you want to do a product release on here, anytime, man, anytime you want to come on, all you got to do is send me a text message. We'll bring you on. Doesn't have to be a full interview. It can be a 5 or 10 minute little thing, whatever you want to do, man.
I appreciate it, Kevin. We're just getting started on our side, so I'm sure we got a lot to do together.
Oh, yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
Excellent.
Well, cool. Well, go have a blessed night. Great interview. I appreciate you coming on here and keeping me from having to talk to myself all night, because Brian beats me up over that stuff. But thank you very much, and we will stay in contact, and we're going to see what we can do to, man, make this stuff blow up.
Sounds good. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it, everyone.
All right, buddy. Have a great night.
See ya.
All right, everybody. There you go. So, first manufacturer on the show. I appreciate LJ, everybody at Live King. You guys, it's very unheard of that people give 20%. But if you go to livekingproducts.com, and I don't know if it's on the screen or what, but give the Shy South 10, the Grind 10. He's going to give you 20% off right off the top. That's any product you buy. So you don't have to buy the entire kit. You can buy parts, different stands, come and go. But get over there and get you some products. Hit the discount code. Save yourself some money. He was very kind to offer that to everybody, so take advantage of that. Get over there, go order, and hit the Shy South and hit the Grind, man. Save yourself a little bit of cash. Let them know, hey, you were watching the show. But anyway, guys, go share the video. Share this video. Tell your friends that haven't seen it, that may, the painters, the stereo guys, the shops, the builders, everybody, let them know these products are available, man. For the next 30 days, you can get that. But anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass night. We will see you next